This video sponsored by Meeple Movers. No minimum order, no subscriptions. Free shipping on every item, every day. At meeplemovers.com.
Hello and welcome to Brian's Got Game. I'm Brian, this is my dad, and this is our top 10 2018 list.
Yeah, best family games of 2018.
All right. So a couple caveats to how it made it our list. We had to have played it, and then, well, I mean, you should play it to know if it's your favorite.
Right, but there's some games that I'm sure people out there love and would say, "Hey, this should be a top 10 game." But we didn't play it, and there's certain games that we don't like to play. So.
All right. And can you think of anything else that would be a caveat?
No, I don't think so.
All right, we play it and we like it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start at number 10.
Okay.
We've got Drop.
You're gonna go first.
Yeah, I'll say.
Okay.
I was gonna say it's Drop It by Cosmos. So this one made the list because it has easy rules. Any age can play it, and then you don't have to really be a gamer. You're just kind of dropping pieces in. It's kind of like I compared it to Connect 4 without the boundaries.
Yeah, it's like I taught it to somebody last night.
Reverse
Actually,
Connect 4 because you're not trying to connect anything.
Connect 4 and kind of Tetris mashed into one. But you're right. This is definitely Gateway. I guess who would like it?
Oh well, you said Gateway, so Gateway gamers.
Gateway gamers.
Yes, Gateway gamers will like
yeah,
this.
Not hardcore gamers. And I was going to say people who like dexterity games.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're flicking or having to aim. I mean, there is a little bit of aim, but I think gravity has more to say to what's going on than you're
bounce a little bit.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of dexterity to it. But this one, we take it to our game night, and it always gets played.
Yeah, it's just sitting there. The box is always open.
Yeah, so that's number 10. Drop It from Cosmos.
Right. Then you've got number 9.
Number 9. So number 9 is currently sitting at number 2 on the party games list on BGG.
All right.
So this is Decrypto, of course. So Decrypto made our list because it plays large groups. So the box says it plays up to 8, but really it's a team game. So you could play up to 10, 12, 20, 100, however big.
100 people.
However big you want to have a team.
How would you...
And so that's one of the reasons why we really liked it. There's not a lot of games out there that support large groups like that, and this one does it really well. And then the other thing is it's a word game, and what I really liked about it is the beginning's kind of easy because you're just throwing out words, but it's word association, right? And every round you go, the harder it gets, which I think is really kind of cool.
And then, what's number 1 on BGG Party Games?
It's probably Codenames.
Well, I guess that's just personal opinion then, whether you like Codenames or Decrypto better.
It's down there.
It's down there. I can't reach that.
So, what types of people would like Decrypto?
People who like party games, because this is a party game, and then it's also a word game. So people who like word games and people who like party games would like Decrypto.
Yep.
So our number 8 is going to be Hunt the House. So this one made our list because it has awesome artwork, and then you can dial up and down the difficulty depending on how easy or hard you want to play it on.
Yeah, that's what I really liked about the game is there's a kind of like an easy mode you can play with little kids where you're just playing your cards on the places, but then you can add in the phantom cards, which make it a little bit more challenging and a little more strategic.
Yeah. And then there's also the production quality. You've got all the different ghosts and the phantoms. They're really cool.
Yeah, this was a Kickstarter, and through the stretch goals and things, they really made this one top notch to the point where the box glows in the dark. That's awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
So, people who would like this type of game is, those people who like to play games with little kids.
Yeah, here's the lower difficulty.
Yep. Yeah, so if you're stuck playing Chutes and Ladders and Candyland, go do yourself a favor and Google Haunt the House
by Kids Table Board Game.
By Kids Table, and buy this because and
then
you'll never
was by Yellow.
Yeah.
If you didn't know.
Yes. And you'll never play those other dumb games again. So Haunt the House And then also it's kind of a press your luck game. I almost put bidding on or bluffing on there because when you're playing your ghost hunters, you can play them face down.
Oh yeah.
And then the people don't know what's
out there.
Put down there. But that's, I guess, inversely kind of the push your luck aspect of it. You can then decide to haunt that.
Yeah.
Or scare that ghost hunter, but you don't know what's there, so you're kind of pushing your luck. But anyways, push your luck or slightly bluffing would like haunt the house.
All right, haunt the house. So I think it's your turn.
So number 6. Number 6 is Pandemic: Fall of Rome.
No, this is number 7.
It's number 7.
Number 7.
We have 2 6s.
Yes.
Word. Okay, so this is number 7. Sorry, Pandemic: Fall of Rome by Z-Man Games. And why this one made the list is it's yet another installment, I'll say, of the pandemic mechanic. So
Alright.
where you're drawing off the cards and oh my gosh, something bad happens, right? And so then you shuffle the cards you just saw and then put them back on top,
and then
right?
pull from the bottom. You got the intensify step.
Intensify, right? So Matt Leacock. Started with Pandemic and slowly they've been branching out and kind of, and now it's no longer just viruses, right?
No,
So,
now you've got these clans of, you've got
Barbarians.
Barbarians, yes.
and they're coming and falling on Rome. And so what did you like best about it?
I liked how they moved around. So it isn't just, you put 3 cubes on Milan. What you do is, it has a city, and then you trace it back to where the supply is, and then they have to march that way. So either they march towards that city, and if they're over here, then you have to make it closer. They don't instantly get there.
Yeah, so they're kind of marching towards, and they're
Takes
all
a little bit to get used to.
all roads lead to Rome, right?
All roads lead to Rome.
And so that's kind of cool too. You're really trying to defend Rome and make sure that it doesn't fall. What I also liked was the fighting part of it. So you're cleaning up medic action, right? Getting the cubes off is you actually roll a dice a die in this one, and so you can attack and you get to take that many cubes off. So there's a little bit add some luck to it.
So it takes off the barbarian cubes, and then they can also kill your soldiers.
Yep. So who would like Pandemic?
Like Fall of
Rome,
people who like Pandemic games, Pandemic, any of the expansions, the legacies. If you like Pandemic, you'll like Pandemic: Fall of Rome.
And there's Iberia, there's Rising Tides.
There's a bunch of them.
And they all use that same mechanic.
The Pandemic mechanic. All right, and then who else would like Pandemic: Fall of Rome?
What I liked about this, and I think people who like historical type games, is there's things on the cards that are kind of educational. You're learning about the time period. I forget exactly when it was.
Historians like this game.
Historians, history teachers, anybody
you
who
should use this to teach Roman history in class.
So you
just need a lot of copies.
People who like history in their games, I think would kind of gravitate towards this one because it was kind of cool.
All right, so the real number 6 is going to be Raids, also by Yellow. So this one made the list because it has stunning artwork. It's got all the Vikings and the ships and the axes and
Yellow,
the monsters.
Yellow always does really well with their artwork, and this one is no exception. I love the artwork from Raids.
Yeah. So there are also some interesting decisions that are different every game because of the randomness and the setup. I'm going to talk about those decisions when we get to who likes this game. And then it's also really easy to learn and it's pretty lightweight.
Yeah, and it plays really quick. I mean, there's just a couple of actions you can do on your turn, and like you said, what really makes this one fun and interesting is where the different items are along the track, right? There's really not a whole lot of rules. You're just leapfrogging each other, getting to the end. But it's really do I pick up those sheep, or do I wait for the pigs, or do I pick up that rune? And it's all about what everybody else is doing plus what the board looks like at the time.
So who would like Raids?
Obviously, people who like Vikings.
All right.
And Viking themed games.
And Vikings themselves.
And if you are a Viking, you should go buy this game. Or you probably already have the game. Really.
You probably have the game if you're a Viking.
You probably raided it from somebody's village.
All right. So also people who would like it is people who like Decrypto. So this is what I was talking about. Like you said, you're leapfrogging. It's like the Decrypto action. You move to
The person who's behind.
Yes, the person who's behind goes, and then they have to move in forward. Though the thing about this one is that the person in the back still moves, but they have to move in front of the person that's next. So they can't just farm all the ones in between. Those are all removed, and then they have to go in front of the next last person.
Yeah. So it really accelerates the game, right? You can't somebody can't just sit in the back and just clean up and pick everything up. So I really like that. And then I also like in Decrypto, somebody takes your temple spot and you can't go to the temple.
Oh yeah, because there's no fighting in Decrypto.
Right, it's peaceful and zen. But this is raids, and they're
you can go fight them with your Vikings.
Fight them, so that is really cool.
And then they can fight back.
Right. So number 5.
Number 5.
Is that me?
Yes.
So number 5 is Koi.
Koi
By Smirk and Laughter.
Dag. I don't know.
I think it's Smirk and Laughter. It's one of the new imprints of Smirk and Dagger. You're gonna go check.
Yes.
So this one I thought did really well.
You were right.
I was right.
Smirk
and Laughter. There you go. This one I thought did really well incorporating the theme into the mechanics. So like the way that the fish move. If you've ever watched koi fish swimming around,
yes,
you know they're all over the place, right? And that's kind of how the movement goes. Like you look at your card,
go
and you're
forward
like,
3,
you're
turn
like,
left.
Yeah, I want to rotate and go forward. And the cool thing is some of those are optional, so you don't have to do those. But and then also with the flood, like you know, it's like you're dropping a rock in the pond, and the ripple, you know, pushes everything out. So you know that happens in the game as well. Rocks, you got to go around the rocks, and you're jumping over, you know, lily pads and things. And I don't know. I thought that they did a really good job incorporating the mechanics into
the theme.
Yeah,
very cool.
And then also it made this list because I wouldn't call it chaotic.
Unpredictable.
It's unpredictable, right? So it's programmed actions, which a lot of times, I mean, it's not programmed actions in the sense that, you know, I'm laying my cards down and I got to wait and then play them in that order.
Yeah.
But you have that card that kind of dictates how you can move, and you're limited to what's in your hand. And so because it's unpredictable and a little bit chaotic, it makes for really interesting interactions with, you know, you put a frog out there and it eats all the dragonflies, or, you know, you turn somebody so they're facing the wrong way, or you bump into another koi and that bumps in and, you know, creates all this stuff that you unplanned events. Right. So who would like koi?
People who like programmed movement games. And then who else would like koi?
People who like take that. So this is why we got confused. So Smirk and Dagger is all about, you know, take that games, and Smirk and Laughter is their new imprint for, you know, party type games. But this one I felt was kind of mean, actually, because it's all about, you know, maximizing your points while
messing everybody else up. Putting the rock right in front of them.
And eating all the dragonflies.
Eat all the dragonflies.
Yeah. In one go, right? Like you go boom, 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 and your fish eats everything and then causes a flood.
Oh, no. All right. So I think that's me for number 4. We're going to go with Forbidden Sky. So this is the newest and, you might say, the best game in the Forbidden series. Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert, and then Forbidden Sky. So I like how you build the board as you play. You have all the different tokens that you're laying down. Not tokens, tiles that you're laying down to build the board.
Yeah, in the other games, the board's already there, right? And that I really like that too, that you're working together and you can see everybody's tiles.
Yeah.
But you're building the board as you go.
And then something else I liked is that the actual board works as an electrical circuit.
Yeah.
So
it is cool.
Yeah. So you have all the different, I think,
capacitors.
Yes, the capacitors. They're little metal discs. And then you have to build the tiles to make the little symbol, and then that capacitor goes there. And then you have the little metal discs, and then the metal squares, which are the lightning rods. And then you have to connect them with little plastic wires with metal on the bottom. And then you connect it to the rocket, and it lights up. It makes sounds.
Yeah, it makes a little sound. So I thought that was really cool.
If you want to see more of that, it's in our unboxing video of that.
Yep. So who would like Forbidden Sky.
People who like the other Forbidden games, Island and Desert, which are also very good.
Yep. And
co-op
this is,
games.
Yeah, this is obviously a co-op. So some people love them, some people hate them, some people may be in between and take them or leave them. But this one is definitely a really good choice, and it fits right along that same, forbidden theme.
Yeah. And then also people who like circuits, because this one's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, that was appealing to me. You get to make a real circuit and then make the thing
light up.
I was really excited when the rocket it doesn't actually launch, but it makes a noise.
Yes.
So number three.
Number three.
Is that where we're at?
Yes.
Okay, so number 3 is Mercado.
Mercado
By Cosmos. This is a Rudiger Dorn design. Came out late part of the year. This is a real lightweight set collection game. You're grabbing out of your bag coins, and then you're allocating them to objects and merchants in the market.
Yep. So it's kind of like a bag building, but
yeah, it is. And I put that down here on the paper, but you're not actually buying stuff and putting them in your bag.
Yeah, but you can clean it up by getting rid of the black counterfeit ones and then gaining more of the white wilds.
Right. Yeah, and so it also made the list because you can make some interesting combos.
Okay.
Based on the rewards of completing a tile, plus, so the scoreboard is just a track, right?
It is a track.
And when you land on a spot that has more victory points, you get to continue moving.
Yes.
So and then you also have privilege tokens that can make you go 1, 2, or 3, or however many spaces, right? So you could really, I saw somebody last night at game night, actually, they literally went halfway around the board. They were in last place by a lot. But they had 4 privilege tokens, which you could count at the end. And so he finished the tile, then counted all 4, and he ended up passing me, but still not winning. But he made it halfway around the entire board with the combos that he was able to make. And so that was kind of cool too, because you couldn't really count him out.
Yeah.
And so that was a fun way to teach, because he kind of thought he was lost and kind of wasted his time learning a new game. But it was kind of cool to see him come back. Right.
So this one was actually my favorite game that I played this year, but we've got 2 other games above it for other reasons.
Okay.
But this one was my personal favorite out of the latest games I played this year.
So who would like Mercado? And why did you like it?
Brian. Brian likes Mercado.
If your name is Brian.
People who like bag building games.
Okay. Yeah. Like you said, it's you can clean up your bag, kind of alter it a little bit. But I liked it because you didn't have to do all the thinking of the engine build. Bag building is kind of like engine building in a bag, right? But you didn't have to think about that. It was already in your bag. You're just pulling them out. So that's what I liked.
And then people who like Splendor would like this. I think I actually didn't like Splendor very much, but I really like this one. It kind of streamlined it, and for me, it made it more fun.
Yeah, it's similar. You have tiles out there that everybody's kind of going for, but like you said, like you're just pulling them out of the bag, and you kind of see what everybody's doing rather than having to calculate. I'm going to get these red ones, these white ones, and somebody took all the green ones, and now I can't do what I was going to do. So yeah, if you like Splendor, it has a kind of a Splendor feel to it.
All right. So it's me for number 2. So number 2 is Blue Lagoon. So it made a list. Blue Lagoon is by Blue Orange.
Yep. And Reiner Knizia.
So it's a lightweight but still kind of thinky game. It's Islander theme, and you're trying to do a couple things. You're trying to have the most on an island and spread out over a couple islands. So you can do one or both of those.
Which is hard to do both.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little bit deceiving when you see this box, because you're like, oh, blue-orange, it's a cute box, and it looks like a,
it's got cute, awesome
palm trees and an island,
really
and then,
awesome
and then,
on it too.
And then, like you said, it's thinky.
So it's easy to learn, but challenging to master is what you put down on here.
Ooh, very interesting.
And then what I liked about it was it's a 2-phase game. So the first phase is you kind of put your things out for the first time, and then you're going to take all of them back except for some special tokens that get to stay out there.
Yeah, your villages are your huts. So you can place them in the first phase, and then in the second phase you have to live with the way you placed them in the first phase.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of cool.
And then you can build off there, which the second phase is scored like the first phase, but there's already some stuff out there. So people who like this game, or people who like abstract strategy games, because that's what it is.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, there's kind of an island theme to it, but you're really, you're placing pieces.
And it fits. It fits, and I like it.
Yeah, and I like abstract strategy, and I think that's why this one ranked so high on our lists, just because it was the interesting mechanics. But yeah, definitely if you like abstract games, and then also if you're a fan of Reiner Knizia, definitely go check this one out. It feels just like a Knizia,
but it's kind of new, different from some other games.
Yeah, and like you said, the two-phase thing was kind of interesting to me, and I really like that. So yeah, Blue Lagoon was number 2. So we're down to number 1.
You get to say number 1.
So our number 1 game of 2018 was Stuffed Fables.
All right.
By Plaid Hat Games.
Plaid Hat.
Yep. So this is a story-driven game, and it's also co-op, and there's a little bit of kind of like an RPG feel to it. So I have my character, and you have your character. And you roll dice to see if you can, you meet the skill check or the attack or whatever.
So it's kind of like a kid's RPG game.
Yeah, so I was going to say it's just like Mice and Mystics. but that's if you would like it.
All right.
So it's by the same designer. And it's kind of streamlined some of the attack elements to it. But not to give it away, there's stories or fables in the stuffed fables world. So you're helping this little girl overcome some challenges in her life.
Yes.
And you are the stuffed animals.
You are the stuffed animals.
And you go through and kind of work through the board. Or the board is like this big book, right? And you're flipping through.
Flip it through.
And you put the little monsters on there. You got minis.
Yeah, you got your minis of stuffed animals. Those are really cool.
Yeah. And then what I thought was also kind of cool, being a parent, is at the end of the game, there's kind of some thought-provoking questions at the end. So you can talk to your kids and kind of have a discussion about, there was one about bullying or whatever, and say, how do you feel when, someone does this to you, just like happened in the game, right? And then there was another one that was, trying new things, overcoming your fear. And trying new things. So these are real things that young kids are going through, and so through this game, it provided an opportunity to have that discussion and kind of. There's a little moral to each story.
All right, so you might have picked it because that's cool, but I picked it because it's a fun game. You're rolling dice, moving through, fighting the guys. It's a cool game.
Awesome. Yeah. So who would like Stuffed Fables?
Well, so like you already said, people who like Mice and Mystics. Because it's very, very similar to that.
Yep. Also, people who like storytelling games. So there, you read from the story as you go. Depending on where you go on the map, you read a little section, and there's some parts that you may never read.
Yeah.
You can be successful and read the good ending, or you can be unsuccessful and read the bad ending. And
I don't think we failed yet.
We have not. But there's no right or wrong way to play.
No. All right, and then I guess the last thing is people who like RPGs. So it's a very light role-playing game.
Yeah, you're not giving yourself strength and intelligence and charisma or anything like that. But you do have items, and you can equip items. And you got dice to roll, like I said. And so it's kind of neat to equip your guy with the different weapons and armor. And
the meat mallet.
I'm partial to old number 2 myself. And also, we did mention the minis. If you like, painting minis.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
All the different bad guys, the different types of them, and then the bosses, and then all the different stuff.
And I've seen some really cool minis that people have painted online. So they've shared them. And so I would add to that people who would like this if you're into games with miniatures.
Yep. All right. So those are our top 10 games of 2018.
Yeah, go check those out if you haven't seen them. Comment down in the comments if you agree or if you disagree.
And maybe you could add some also down in the comments, games that you liked.
Yeah.
And then for you people who skipped to the end of the video, number 1, Stuffed Fables, 2 is Blue Lagoon, 3 is Mercado, 4 is Forbidden Sky, 5 is Koi. If you want to know the other 5, you can actually watch the video.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for watching Brian's Got Game.
All right.
I'm Brian's dad, and this is Brian. See you next time.
See you next time.